So that's a quality on that card that is really hard to read, honestly. So here we go, this is what it does. Hi guys, and big welcome to a card review for the new Golgari Tyvar Planeswalker, green black and one generic legendary Planeswalker. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. Can't attack, but you can activate them. +1, untap up to one target creature. -2, mill 3 cards, then you may return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to play. So the first thing that absolutely comes to my mind is cEDH, specifically Giganta. So the trick is that you have your companion Giganta in play, you cast cEDH, you activate Giganta, and you get this Golgari Tyvar Planeswalker and use its +1 ability to untap the big elk and activate cEDH again. From here you could find Aminatu to -1 Aminatu and flicker Giganta. And now, because Giganta is suffering from summoning sickness, you can still activate Giganta with this Tyvar to activate Giganta again and find a new card. But the options here goes on. Giganta and cEDH are currently going on their different variations of combos depending on how you want to build a deck, and this is just another option for that specific commander pair. Or sorry, it's just one commander. I forget that the companion is not a partner, but yeah, for this companion companion thing. But we also have Dockside Extortionist to consider. So the part where you could reanimate a CMC2 creature is kinda interesting with the Dockside. Or well, not just only Dockside, you have Gilded Drake, Phantasmal Image, various hate pieces, Fast as Oracle, the list goes on of various creatures that you could reanimate. But you also mill 3 cards. And that's great with your Underworld Breach. A good example of a commander that could want to have a Tyvar in the deck is a Phyrexia deck with a color identity of black, which you could get with various partner options, but you also need red, so Vile Smasher is the one you want to have. But here you have Dockside, you can reanimate Dockside, you can untap your Bloom Tender that you sometimes have in that deck, and you would fuel your Underworld Breach. So I could see this Planeswalker in a variation, or depending on what form of Phyrexia Vile Smasher deck you've put together, as you can build many different variations of it. But Kenriff is also a good example here. He can utilize Bloom Tender and there's Favor Elder as well, but he could also reanimate Dockside and sometimes he's on Breach. So it kind of depends on what form of Kenriff deck you're on, as Kenriff can be built in so many different ways. So I could see a world where someone is actually adding Tyvar to their very specific Kenriff deck. So this Planeswalker absolutely does things. However, I don't see the big thing with competitive cEDH Magic is that it's competing with so many other great cards. So when you want to add this deck, you have to cut something, and the things you're cutting from most cEDH decks are usually great cards. So you need something very specific here. What I mean is a very specific commander deck that would want to have everything this is bringing for your synergy, so to say. And the only clear one is cEDH. So we already mentioned cEDH and Giganta, but you could absolutely have this in cEDH only as well. Let's say you have your Bloom Tender in play, you tap your Bloom Tender and you find a Tyvar, and then you activate Tyvar and untap Bloom Tender. Now Tyvar might increase cEDH's power, but also increase Bloom Tender's tapping mana ability because you gain the black here. Now the obvious thing you could find is Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, and because of Tyvar she can activate instantly. However, we should point out that Derevi is already doing everything, or not everything, and that's the big take here. Not everything, but it's already doing the untap thing that Tyvar is doing here. But the big difference is that Tyvar is doing other things as well. I guess you could compare him with a combination of Derevi and Lurrus. Not entirely, but close. Kinda similar. The big takeaway here is that you can now build cEDH in more different ways. You could cut Derevi and cut Lurrus from your deck and include all of those 2 cards into Tyvar, depending on what else you want to have inside your deck. You're just gaining more options, so to say. So a finalized take, I don't think this card is gonna have a big impact in the format. It's gonna show up a little bit here and there in some fringe deck that could utilize a lot of different things on this Planeswalker, which I like. In the end though, when you're gonna add this, you have to cut something from your deck, and the only reason you should add this is because you're gaining so much toolbox or Swiss Army knife potential from this card, as it can do many different things. So I think it's just a card that you should like keep in mind depending on what form of commander deck and what other cards you have in your deck that could synergize with this thing. But the big winner here is definitely cEDH, and different cEDH builds could utilize this thing the most, I think. But Thrasius, strange Thrasius deck could also have this Insider 99 for sure. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and you got inspired in some form of way. Take care guys, and I'll see you next time.